I'm Ben Affleck, and I want to thank you for joining me and supporting Paralyzed Veterans of America.
I joined the Navy to serve my country as a Navy SEAL. While parachuting with my platoon, my parachute didn't open. And I broke my neck. It left me paralyzed. Paralyzed Veterans of America was by my side from that moment on.
Since 1946, Paralyzed Veterans of America has kept a promise to our wounded veterans. We will never leave a fallen comrade behind.
Thanks to PVA, paralyzed veterans are getting specialized medical care and treatments, the benefits they've earned, the jobs they want, and the accessible vehicles and homes they need.
I just don't think my family would be as happy as they are without the support that I received from Paralyzed Veterans of America.
Our veterans fought for us. Let's fight for them.
To learn more, go to pva.org today.
Anticipate potential delays for the morning commute. In other news, a recent government report on prescription drug pricing points to corporate
Freedom of the press is about your right to know.
What are you talking about, man? Look at this stats.
It's about your right to be informed. Your right to access all types of information keeps us free as a nation.
No.
Today, there are real threats to press freedom.
Reaching residential areas by...
And your right to know about the world around us.
Look.
Some threats are obvious, some are easy to miss, but they all put our way of life at risk. We must defend against all of these threats, no matter what kind of news is important to you.
Justified putting American troops in harm's way?
That's a great question.
We must protect our right to know before it's too late. Understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
Anticipate potential delays for the morning commute. In other news, a recent government report on prescription drug pricing points to corporate
Freedom of the press is about your right to know.
What are you talking about, man? Look at this stats.
It's about your right to be informed. Your right to access all types of information keeps us free as a nation.
No.
Today, there are real threats to press freedom.
Reaching residential areas by...
And your right to know about the world around us.
Look.
Some threats are obvious, some are easy to miss, but they all put our way of life at risk. We must defend against all of these threats, no matter what kind of news is important to you.
Justified putting American troops in harm's way?
That's a great question.
We must protect our right to know before it's too late. Understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Hi everyone, my name is Queen K, and I'm a marketing specialist here at Honey. And I just wanted to take the time today to show you all how you're able to access the Reach One Network application on your Amazon Fire TV. So without further ado, let's get things started. All right, so we're here on the landing page for the Fire TV. We're gonna go ahead and use the voice command by searching by saying, Alexa, open Reach One Network.
Here's Reach One Network.
And we're here. So we have the live section, radio section, and video section. So immediately you see Honey. You can definitely tap in over to see what's the buzz there. Consistent 24/7 good stuff, content over there, as well as, like I said, the radio section. Here we have some great things for your listening pleasure. Just in case you want to listen into some things, you may not want to, you might want to see anything. You want to listen. And last but not least, we have the video section, which is a repository of all the wonderful content that has come up and things that will be airing very soon. So I'm very excited to see what you guys think. So take some time, go through each tab and really just dig into the content here. And make sure you guys are rating us, and we're just happy to see you guys do this content. My name is Queen K, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Welcome. Therapy ain't no joke on this Wednesday evening, post-election day. Good evening, Sean Garvey, coming to you live from my temporary office of Reach One Network. So glad for you to stop on by to Therapy Ain't No Joke, November 6th, 2024. If you're new to the program, we talk about all things considered mental health in our community, in our society, and holding each other accountable to help maintain you and your well-being. We're on between now and 9 p.m. for all my Flow Television viewers and listeners. We'll be doing a rebroadcast of the show tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our East Coast. And I know I said that I was going to take a hiatus from doing anything live for the next few days as we switch over from StreamYard to Riverside. But I couldn't resist. I wanted to go on here and talk to you all live, because there's so much stuff that I gotta get off my chest. If you are watching us on Roku, honey, shout out to you all. Let somebody know to download the app. It is the Honey app on your Roku TV. All you gotta do is click on channels, and you will find the Honey app to download and watch us live. Okay, and we are also on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Beat Break Radio. We are also going to be broadcasting the rebroadcast of tonight's show on the Mental Space Show on YouTube. So we have a YouTube channel for that. We're everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We're everywhere, so there is no excuse for you to not watch me and my guests live on the air. We are everywhere in front of your streaming devices. But meantime, between time, like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Mental Space Show. We're going to be live on there momentarily around 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tonight, it's been a day. It has been a day. And like I said, I did not plan on coming on the show live tonight. I wanted to take a few days to recompress and to do some different things with the technology that is in front of me to give you all a better experience in how you watch my show, obtain my show, consume my content, and all that great stuff. But this is the day after the election. I'm going to go ahead and switch up the beat for one moment. Like we normally do on Therapy Ain't No Joke. And normally on Therapy Ain't No Joke, Let me get a sip real quick. By the way, for those that may be wondering what kind of coffee mug this is a Florida coffee mug. And I know the name of the state might be a bit triggering to you all right now. And I'll explain why later in the broadcast. We do have a guest that's going to be joining with me in the next hour of Therapy and No Joke around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is a special edition of the show. Very special edition of the show. If you're watching me live on YouTube and on Honey and on my Instagram, I want to make sure that I say Instagram at Sean Garvey ATL because we're broadcasting live on Instagram at Sean Garvey ATL. How this whole system is set up is where we don't only broadcast live on your streaming devices, but we also broadcast live on social media. We want to reach to as many people as possible via social media, via streaming devices, wherever you are at right now. Because we don't want you to miss out on anything that you could learn from on tonight's show. There's been a lot of anxiety over the past few months leading up to Super Tuesday, November 5th, a day that will go down in history, American history, or even in American politics. Donald Trump, president-elect for the next 4 years, beating out Kamala Harris in yesterday's election, kept a lot of people in suspense. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, you can chime in and weigh in on the conversation tonight. We might be going over just a little bit after 9 p.m., but we're going to make sure that we end on time before the rebroadcast at 10 p.m. if you miss any of tonight's highlights. Because, like I said, we are switching over to Riverside, and we cannot simulcast on multiple streaming platforms like we used to due to politics. Keyword, politics. Everything is politics, right? But tonight, I'm going on a little bit of a rant during the first hour of the program. So pardon me in advance if you're just now tuning in. And the link is in YouTube. If you're watching me on YouTube at Beat Break Radio, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and share the video. We got the StreamYard link below YouTube in case you want to weigh in on the conversation. YouTube on Beat Break Radio. Like, share, subscribe. I've seen a lot of things unfold over the past few months, leading up to today, November 6th, 2024. I'm going to be very candid with you all. I'm not going to do a breathing exercise right now. I usually go into the show doing a breathing exercise, but I'm just not going to do it right now. I'm going to do it when my guests come on in the second half of Therapy and No Joke, but I'm not going to do it right now. Because of my blood pressure. My blood pressure is up due to the amount of stress that I'm having as a black man in this country. So let's have an honest conversation, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have an honest conversation, okay? I'm going to be real with you. I'm not going to beat around the bush. And let me just say this too before I go any further. This is not the show where I cuddle people. I do bring on licensed and professional therapists that are actually in appointments right now. Yes, it is after 7 p.m., 7:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and some of our professionals are with other clients right now, so some of them cannot be on the show tonight. But after this show, you may need to seek a therapist if you haven't seen one already. But I'm going to be very candid with you guys. I'm upset. And that's part of the reason why my blood pressure is high. I'm upset not at white people. I'm not upset at Hispanic people. I'm not upset at Asian people. I'm upset at black people. Yes, I'm talking to you that's watching. I'm upset with black people. Not every single black person, but I'm upset with a lot of you. I've seen the comments. I've seen the reactions from last night's results, last night's election, and I'm upset. For one reason only. And it's not because of Trump winning last night and is now president-elect. I'm upset at the fact that people on social media, let me take it beyond that. It's not just on social media. But I'm upset at everybody in both my personal and professional life that has been attacking me as a black man. And is attacking black men on social media. So I'm upset at everything. I'm upset at everything. So let's start with the social media aspect of things, with the reactions and people giving the middle finger at black men that claim that all black men voted for Donald J. Trump, which that is totally false. Every black man did not vote for Donald J. Trump. Was that a handful? Yeah, there was a handful of black men that voted for Trump for one thing and one thing alone, which was economics, the economy. But there were black male supporters for Kamala Harris. Now you can pull out all the receipts and the data and all this other stuff on social media all you want to, right? You can do all that. But I am upset at the simple fact that our own black queens and our own black women are giving the middle finger at black men because they didn't go vote for Kamala. And they were the cause that Donald Trump got a second term, or potentially got a second term in office, because legally he got to get inaugurated next year to become president of the United States. Right now he is president-elect. And that somewhat bothered me. Even some people that I follow on social media. Because if you give the middle finger at black men, you're giving the middle finger at me. Last time I checked. That's part of my stress. When I went down social media earlier today and scrolled down and seen some of the people that I know personally saying things like, oh, I'm not having sex anymore. I'm not having sex with any more black men anymore. F you black men, this, that, and the other. And I haven't been offended in a long time. But as a black man, I'm offended. I am offended. Let me bring on DJ Rollum, because this is somewhat of a therapy no joke. DJ Rollum, the Beat Break Morning Show matchup, by the way. What up, big brother? How you doing?
I'm here, man. I'm here.
I'm here too. I have to be here. I have to be here to release a lot of tension that I'm having all day today. And it's not just only the election. It's other people that's been giving me stress for a long time. And I'm going to expose some people on tonight's show. But before I get into that, how you feeling?
I'm glad as DJ posted something that is so daggone true, and I want the listeners and viewers to check this out because it speaks volume, and a lot of folks probably didn't think about this part. I won't go back a while if the listeners and viewers know about the show called Different World. There was an episode, basically, the episode was about a character, Kimberly Reese was on there, and her father got shot. And they took Kimberly Reese, the character Jasmine, the actress Jasmine Guy, and who plays Whitley Gilbert, her best friend at the time. They weren't dating yet. Kadeem Hardison played the actor of Dwayne Wayne.
Yeah.
And another friend of Kim Reese is I forgot her name, but she played the character Freddie. So they all went to, they left the college, drove to Ohio, where Kim Reese, the character, was from, to visit her father in the hospital. And during the night, Freddie was praying for the best results for Kim Reese's father. And so it was time for midterms, so they had to go back to school. So Kim Reese had to stay with her father because she got an excuse. So Whitley, Dwayne Wayne, and Freddie drove back to the school to do their finals. Midterm, whatever. And when Kim came back, she had the news about her father. Her father was okay, because he was shot, because he was a cop. And then so basically Freddie was prayed for results. That was the results that she prayed for. That he comes out of it.
Yeah.
Little does she know on that same part that when Freddie's saying, "Oh, he should be up and walking and doing what he used to do," and eventually and all that stuff, Kim looked at Freddie and just walked away. Little know that Freddie knew not Jasmine, well, the actress Jasmine Guy, Whitley said to her that he's paralyzed. And Freddie felt a certain way. Like, I prayed hard, never prayed, and whatnot. And she didn't understand why, when you pray so hard to God to fulfill what you asked for, she got upset and walked away. So here's the part where it comes. Dwayne Wayne, followed her and gave her a pep talk and gave her this example. When he was a kid, he prayed for a bike or some toys, whatever the case may be. He prayed real hard as a child of what he wanted for Christmas. And little that he knew, when he prayed for those toys or other items that he really wanted, he only got a jacket, a scarf, and a skull cap. Later that winter, his friends got the flu, got real sick and everything. But he never got sick because he had a coat and a skull cap. So they lucked out on that. But then he flipped it and said this important part right here. You can always pray to God for the things that you would like to have and things you would like to have done. God does answer. God has another way of answering. Sometimes you have to accept what you get. And this is the part I add. Accept what you get, do what you got to do, and survive. It might not be verbatim what I said to the other DJ, but that's basically it. You got to accept, do what you got to do, and survive. I'm not putting any violence on this. I'm not going to say have a turmoil about this. It hurts like crazy, especially myself has volunteered for the Harris campaign. I promoted, even when I voted and everything, and the results came out. And I did look at a little bit of news. I don't know if you said this part before I came in, Sean, that The Latinos helped make this happen. The Latinos helped make this happen. It wasn't the blacks. You know what? Probably not enough blacks came out. Probably. 'Cause I didn't get that. You know, we probably won't get that actual percentage yet. Through time, we will. But the Latinos came out. So it's going to be a lot of crap going on next year. I suggest people do what they got to do and survive. And the only thing I can see is, if you can, invest. Invest in yourself first. Invest in your family second. Keep God above. That's me.
DJ Roland, right here on Therapy Ain't No Joke. Kind of like a beat break morning mashup here, if you will. Let's talk about the Latino community for you. And I love my Latino community. I have friends.
So do I.
But let me remind everybody that I spent 7 months in Florida, Gainesville, Florida. And I've been around people from the Latino community. There's a reason why I put community next to Latino, because that's what it is. They stick together. Regardless of what they believe in, or if they disagree with each other, they stick together. We don't do that. We as black people, we don't do that. One of the reasons why you got the result that you got. We're all over the place. And that's why my monologue in the first half of Therapy Ain't No Joke, I have to put black people on a pedestal and hold them accountable. And I can go down a number of reasons why. And some people are going to get exposed tonight, DJ Roller. I promise you, on God. Some of them are going to get exposed. This is very unprecedented from what we saw last night into now. The amount of hate that I've seen on social media because this person that looked like you and I voted for Trump instead of Kamala. And everybody has the right, last time I checked, being a citizen of America. Everybody has the right to choose who they want to vote for. Okay? We know how the media works. We know how politics work. At least for me and Peter Roland, I don't know about the rest of you all. But if the rest of you all don't know how politics work, I need you all to do some research.
That's the problem.
There's some things that I cannot talk about on tonight's show due to the fact that I worked for the government for 7 months, taking a hiatus from media. But now that I'm back, and I'm back because this is my love, this is my passion. But some of you all need therapy. I'm not going to say some, a lot of you all need therapy. You are the reason why I have done the mental space for 2 years at WAOK, and therapy ain't no joke right now. A lot of you all are the reason. So let's get down to it, DJ Barlow. Let's get down to it. I created the mental space in 2021, later part of fall 2021. I pitched the idea to the folks or to a particular person who I will not name at News and Talk 1380 WAOK in Atlanta. I pitched the idea, and I specifically told her, H-E-R, her, my boss, that I do not want to be homeless ever again. Because I've been there. I've been homeless. I know what it's like. Okay? Some of you all don't know what it's like to be homeless. Some of you are. That's facts. I pitched the idea, it got greenlit. Next thing you know, I became the first broadcaster in radio history to do a weekly mental health show on a terrestrial AM radio station. Nobody never done that. Nobody. Name me a radio personality in America that has done a mental health radio show on terrestrial AM radio. I'll wait. Especially African American. 2 years. 2 years on radio, which could have been the #1 radio show on terrestrial radio in the Atlanta market. On the same station, very iconic, on the same station as your legendary radio DJs and radio personalities that you grew up to love. So let's get into it, because I said a few weeks ago, DJ Rollman and our viewers, that I was going to talk about it. I was going to talk about my split from WAOK. It was just a matter of when I was going to do it. But since some of you all, especially you ladies, on social media that came down on Black Man, I might as well talk about it right now. So let's go. Let's go. Okay. Let's do it. Let's do it, DJ Rollman. You ready?
Let's go.
If you know anything about radio, especially if you're coming in the gate as a board operator / radio producer, producers don't make a lot of money in radio broadcasting, believe it or not. Now, once upon a time ago, in the Howard Stern era of radio, DJs were making 6 figures. Okay? Let's be clear on that. DJs, on-air talent, were making 6 figures on the radio, on-air personality. Guess how much I made as a on-air talent / board operator / producer? You want to take a guess, DJ Rollman? Take a guess. Take a guess.
I mean, I ain't gonna say any names. Some folks do know about the high-profile names in the radio industry is crazy. You know, I'm not gonna say his name. You know who I'm probably talking about. My once upon a time dream was to work with him. You know, just to work with him. You know, because of how I've known him since the mid '80s. You know, so I know I wanted to work with him, but that as time went by, it just fell away. I'm like, I'm good. I ain't gotta worry about that. So.
Go ahead and say your names. Can you hear me, by the way? I just want to make sure you can hear me.
Say it again?
Go ahead and say your name. Can you hear me, by the way? I just want to make sure you can hear me.
Go ahead and say his name?
Yeah, go ahead and say his name.
Frank Ski.
Shout out to Frank Ski.
Yeah.
Shout out to Frank Ski.
Yeah, I mean, I've been listening to him since, what was that? 85, 86 in Baltimore. You know, I know he's a little older than me, but that's when I've been listening to him. He started off. I mean, I really thought he was from New York. Right. But over the years, I found out he was really from Miami. But, yeah, I mean.
Miami, keyword, Miami.
Yeah.
Keyword, Miami.
Yeah, that's where he's from, you know. But he got his roots in New York, you know. He came to Baltimore and did his thing, and I heard that and what he played on the radio and whatnot. You know, that's how I started listening to house music. club music, so that was the beginning of DJ Roland. Back then it was DJ Dave in the thinking mode, how to put music together, because I used to use double deck tape decks to mix and whatnot, no mixer, and figuring out how to capture pieces of beats. So I was like Beat Street, in some senses, what I was doing in the early stages of DJing. So, I mean, he did his thing growing, and I really like his ambition and how he wanted to grow. That's what I really liked about it too, because he wanted to take it to the next level. And that's what you do, Sean. You want to take it to the next level. You always want to take it to the next level. You've been doing that since I've known you. Right. I always want to take it to the next level, and that's what everyone should do. Yeah, we're talking about the results and everything, but you got to know what you want to do, as in to make yourself better. No matter who's in charge, but you got to figure out how to make yourself better. Revamp and look at yourself. Really write out, not just think it out. Really write out. I'm going to work on my weaknesses on writing stuff out and getting things rolling, because the next 4 years it happens again, so hopefully I'm in a better state, mentally, financially, spiritually, and whatnot, and try this thing again. The only thing I hope is that my son doesn't get affected with this crap. That's the only thing that's on concern of me, dealing with him. I believe he's going to be all right, but you never know about, some folks, especially when he progresses in being an adult, because he's an adult now, but get older and he's not in Atlanta anymore. And he's out wherever. Hope he makes the right move and he doesn't get targeted just because he's Big Sean.
I thought you were going to say the other word. But
nah.
But let me just peel back a little bit. When you brought up Frank Steele, hopefully you bring Frank Steele on everything, because I know we've been through a lot this year. I had someone. This is when I was working at WAOK 1380. I had someone in the sales department say to me, "Sean, you sound like another Frank Steele." I thought he was going to say the other personality from Atlanta. I was like, oh, interesting. So me being an on-air talent, not just a producer for many of the shows that WAOK carry, but I have gotten ears of people that have compared me to other radio personalities, and that says something, DJ Roland and our viewers out there, that Sean Garvey sounds like a Frank Steele. Okay, cool, kudos to that, all right? But Sean Garvey sounds like Sean Garvey. Okay? Sean Garvey sounds like Sean Garvey. So that's what I've been doing for 2 years at WAOK. Well, what happened, right? Because people still to this very day ask what happened to Sean Garvey. Why did he split from WAOK? So it goes back to the question that I asked DJ Roland a few minutes ago. How much do you think we behind the scenes get paid in radio?
Hardly none.
We get paid anywhere between $10 an hour to $12.50 an hour, part-time. This is an educational moment for you young folks out there that want to get into the radio business, that want to step your foot in the door in the radio industry. You get paid $10 to $12.50 an hour, starting pay. Okay? Unless you know someone that has a certain type of relationship with you, because in this business, it's all about relationships, right? I was declared as the #1 producer at WAOK, the first producer that produced every show on WAOK than anybody else. And that's facts. That's facts. Number one. Number two, first person to do a mental health show on WAOK. That is facts also on a weekly basis. Now, this is what happened. I wanted more money. So to all the women that are saying F you to the black men on social media, I want you to follow this story because this is very important, all right? I wanted more money. I wanted to be promoted. I wanted to upgrade to a higher position in radio than just an on-air talent. They would not give that to me. They wanted me to stay in my lane. And you have heard some other radio personalities that have said the same thing. Wanted you to stay in your lane. I'm like, okay, cool. Then this new other opportunity came into place for me to make more money. So I'm like, if you put in my 2 weeks, I'm out. But I want to take the mental space with me because that is a show that yours truly created. And they didn't want to do that. They didn't want to do that. So you know what they did, ladies and gentlemen? They terminated me. They let me go a week before I was supposed to do a proper sign-off on the air. That's what happened. As a black man, trying to move up in something that I've been doing for 21 freaking years in broadcasting. 21. I know some of you all haven't done your research on who I am, and that's fine. That's okay. That's fine. But maybe after the end of the show, you would do some research because you would know that I have done more in radio and TV broadcasting than some of your favorite personalities.
I believe that.
And that's super facts in the word of the big yes, super facts. So all these black women that are attacking black men or wanting to vote for Donald Trump or wanting to go for a different side, I need you ladies to understand the struggle that us black men go through each and every freaking day here in America. Of us trying to simply just pay our freaking bills, survive, and provide for our loved ones and for our families. This is crucial time right now, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you want to believe it or not. Now, my brother D.A. Roland used a good analogy from the show A Different World. I know for all of my HBCU people out there, we have a different episode. You can check out my episode with Rashawn Ali as we talk about HBCU and mental health on demand. But I need you all to know the truth, okay? So since we're using analogies, I'm going to use this one. Let's go. Good Times. I grew up on Good Times. You all remember Good Times, right? There was an episode where this young politician came to the Evans family and was trying to get them to vote for him because he had all these great ideas for the black community, for people in the Chicago projects and all that great stuff, right? And this older guy came in and said, well, I have a better idea for black people. And the Evans family didn't agree with that. But guess what happened in that episode of Good Times, ladies and gentlemen? The older guy, who we can assume because it's been a minute since I've seen that episode, the older guy won the election. The younger guy didn't. And you know what James Evans, who John Amos, God rest his soul, who passed away this year, played James Evans. You know what he said to the young politician? He said, his campaign was better than yours. Yes. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. That was a rare episode on Good Times. And that's what happened right now between Trump and Kamala. Because let's be honest, Kamala's campaign was ran off of entertainment. Trump's campaign was ran off of economics. I don't think you all understand the severity of what's happening right now in this country. So like some of the women that I spoke to offline who said to me, Sean, how can we get black men to be leaders in our community and to get these high-paying jobs if they cannot get them? And it's the women that are taking over. That's what one woman said to me. No cap. So that's why I'm stressed out, ladies and gentlemen. I'm stressed out by the comments. I'm stressed out by the comments. I'm stressed out by the fact that people who know me for 21 years in broadcasting want to, excuse my French, but shit on my name because I decided to take a different route outside of terrestrial radio and build my own. Let me ask you all something. How many of you all have donated to Reach One Communications? I put it up on every episode that I do, whether it's this show or the Beat Break Morning show that I do with my fellow brother, DJ Roland, or Soul Days Live. How many of you all have done a Cash App, which is at the ticker at your bottom there? Cash App, $ Reach One Communications. Because let me tell you all something. I have more people supporting Tyler Perry than me. And I'm from Atlanta. You all support Tyler Perry whether you like his movies or not, but you cannot support a black person who has a startup entity that's trying to showcase positive content that's showing black people in a positive light. But you sit around and complain.
Here it comes.
It's now elected in office. And give
Here it comes.
At black people. I'm disappointed in you all. And let me add something else to that. True story, because like I said, we're exposing people tonight to your role. Because you all made my blood pressure at a 8.5.
Can I say something, sir?
Go ahead. All
right.
This is my story. We also got Tig.
Yeah, we on a high blood pressure moment and whatnot. Because I ain't really find out until this morning. My resolution to high anxiety, high emotions, when you're just completely mad, pissed off, get some water. Don't resort to liquor and whatnot. That's definitely not the solution to it. Water's pure. Well, that's what I believe, because there's a whole lot. Let's just say this: it's healthier than alcohol. We just say it like that. But that's what we're going to have to do is re-examine what we got to do. Do I have all the answers? No one does have all the answers. No one can work as if something can happen in a blink of an eye. No one. I don't care who he or she is. It ain't going to happen. So the only thing that came to my mind during the day is, what did I do from 16 to 20? What did I do then? And more likely, I'll probably doing the same daggone thing, you know. But I do have a couple folks that I do follow, and they follow me. They support me. I support them. They actually are Trump supporters. And I can't recall how they didn't benefit when their guy wasn't in office. But I ain't gonna be on this too long because I gotta go. But I just want to say this, going back to what I originally said. You can pray and and hopefully the best results will come. But when the results come, do what you gotta do. Take care of yourself. Research. And at least he can't control Google, because Google is going to be off the chain for the next 4 years.
It's already off the chain.
I mean, it's off the chain, but I'm talking about like for educational purposes, because they're already taking out some books and they're going to even take out more. So you can't stop Google. So luckily, Google will be intact. Google's going to try to figure out how to get more money, because they're going to be using up like crazy. That's what's going to happen with that. They're going to figure out we getting an extra influx of users. You got to figure out how to get some money. That's the only bad thing that might be coming up, but that's what's going to happen. So
They figure out some money after the end of the broadcast here. They once again cash out. $, Reach One Communication.
but definitely support the show.
Yeah.
Support Sean Garvey. I mean, the man is real. He's facts. You know, he and I definitely give back, but definitely keep this going. Reach One Communications.
Right. Facts. Facts. And I know you got to go, DJ Roland. But let me just say this. I posted a video. We're going to have Tick on in just a few moments. He's going to bring on 75. I posted a video of LL Cool J, who was in one of his interviews promoting his new album. And he had a lot of profanity, so I can't play it. But he said in his monologue that I be around dudes that complaining a lot. And I'm like, yo, listen, I'm not going to be at the dinner table hungry. I'm going to go into the woods and figure it out. And that's what I really encourage people to do in light of this post-election that we're in right now. Because all I'm seeing about, and I know it's swaying, is queuing up into a different segment. We're coming up against coming up on the top of the hour here. But we got to stop bitching and complaining. You know what I mean? We gotta stop bitching and complaining, because we've been doing that so too long when things don't happen in that way. And it's like we innate in doing that to stay mentally engineered in the struggle. I don't want to be in the struggle. And the only way I have to do that, DJ Roland and our viewers out there, is I have to change the people that are around me. Number one. And number two, I have to change my mentality. If you're out there and you're watching us, okay, great. We want you to continue to support to us. But you gotta ask yourself, how many times a day do you be watching stuff on television, on your phone, and on your computer that's not empowering you, that's not bringing you no substance? Because if you're just watching silly stuff on TV all day, every day, and what have you, you're part of the problem. I'm just going to say it. You're part of the problem. And you're not going out here and changing nothing. You're not doing anything. You're just complaining. And you're just watching TV all day. But we want you to watch Honey, though.
Sir, I got to go.
All right.
But, you know, we'll be talking and whatnot. But yeah. Oh, one last thing.
Yes, sir.
And you mentioned, and I didn't mention this, but people need to look up what Snoop Dogg said about the election about a week ago or some weeks ago. I don't know, a month ago. He said something very important, and I'm going to basically sum it up. And it's just being real. And I heard what you said, and I can curse a little bit. What Snoop Dogg said is that America got tired of a nigga in office. They want an old white man. Those 3 words, old white man. That's what America wants. That's what America sees. And they ain't gonna see nothing else for the next how many years? So I gotta go.
I don't know how Ticket's gonna come behind.
I gotta go.
But I know you gotta go.
You gotta do your thing. We'll be talking though.
All right, DJ Roland, the infamous DJ Roland. Big shout out to DJ Roland for performing out and about on location for a DJ at the Post. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, later.
All right. Let's see, Tick, if he's available right now. There we go. My cousin Tick, man. What's going on, cousin? How you doing?
Hey, what's up? How's my own mic level?
You good. I can hear you on my end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because you was a little low on mine, but I can hear you decently.
You're good. Okay. Good.
Decently, man. Yeah.
Good, man. So we just got through, or I just got through rather talking to DJ Roland. I know you saw my post. My blood pressure is high. And I admitted that on Facebook, on social media, going into the show. And you know what, to be honest with you, Cousin Tick, I did not plan to do a live show tonight. I wanted to just decompress and just go throughout the next few days, just be organizing how I do things systematically with my radio broadcast and everything. But I'm like, okay, this is the day after the election. I've seen the comments on social media. It was crazy. And then I also have to tie it in, Kev, with my own personal life, because I have people stressing me out. I know I shared a little bit of some of what I've been through over the past few months, but you know, this is a good segue into you, because for those that don't know, Tick is my blood cousin, by the way. He's not a paid actor. He's on there for free. You get your check in the mail maybe in about 5 years, but I'm glad I brought you on, Tick, because and we had this conversation offline, man. Like we bitch and complain. We bitch and complain a lot as black people. I'm not sugarcoating. We're bitch and complain, and I've been seeing a lot of that happen post-election on social media, and I tied it in with family because I talked to you offline about it, and I won't go into too much detail about it. But why do you think? I'm going to ask this question to you, Tim. Why is it innate in us as black folks to bitch and complain a lot when shit hits the fan?
That's a very woo. And I'm gonna try to sum that up because I can give you the surface level answer right now to make it quick. Emotional. We are very reactive and not proactive. But we got to be real too now, Sean, because we don't want to minimize our efforts. There are a lot of black people that are moving, doing things, and not just bitching and complaining. So I'm not going to allow that to be blanketed on our people. There's a lot of people out here doing things and making things happen. But it's a deeper level to that I don't know if we want to go into all that. But slavery always plays a role on a lot of the things that we do to this day. You got to think, as a person that was in captive, you didn't have no power. So what else could you do but go back to your cabins and do what? Bitch and complain, right?
Right, okay.
So you don't think that wasn't passed down through us, through trauma, through generations, where a lot of us have it in us to bitch and complain more so than be about action because we don't feel we don't have the power. I want to go back to something you said earlier, which actually motivated me to come on real quick. You said that the Latinos stick together or something, but we don't. And we have to be careful with that because, like I've heard another brother say, and I borrowed this from him, and I love using it because when he said it, I said that sums it up. You got to remember with black people in America or in the diaspora period, it's not that nothing is wrong with us, it's that something happened to us. And that's key to understand, that Latinos have their culture more intact than we do. Even though some of their culture is from their former slave masters and oppressors, they are more on code than we are. So I hope that kind of answered your question. On the surface level, I think that black people tend to be a lot more emotional and reactive instead of proactive. And you know what that means, right?
I do.
Okay. We love to react instead of progressively planning ahead so that we prepare for the downfall. We wait till the downfall to happen and then we like, oh, I can't handle it. Oh no, what we gonna do? That's a problem.
But let me say this. What I'm saying is, and I'm going based off my observation, my life observation when I step outside the door. And like I see a Latino grocery store, I see a Latino cell phone, I see a Latino stores in one big ass plaza. When I see a black-owned company, it could be a phone store, it doesn't matter. It could be a black-owned company in an area or in a city where everything else is white-owned. And it's like, okay, what's wrong with that picture? Because I know, especially in Atlanta, we have a number of black-owned stores, black-owned malls, and black-owned stores and what have you. But it's like they only are in that one particular block. And then everything else is not black-owned. But then the Latino community, they have their own stores. They pretty much almost shut the city down where I'm coming from. You see what I'm saying? I just think everything to me in our black community is we got to be competitive against each other.
You said we have to be competitive against each other. You talking about black people? You saying that negatively, like we got to be a competitive.
Right. I'm not saying that. Yeah, I'm not saying in the sense of we have to, but it just seems like we got to be competitive with each other because.
But why is that, Sean? I just answered that for you.
Right.
Why is that?
I mean, it goes back to what you said. I mean, it goes back to slavery.
Something happened to us.
Something happened to us.
Yes. Now, I'm not making excuses because, like DJ Roland said, with Google, it's too much information out here right now, to still be walking around a 2024 mental slave. So I'm not making excuses, but the facts are the facts. Majority of black people, and people, period. I'm not going to give all these other people all this credit like they super woke. Most people are surface dwellers. They live within the surface. That's most people, period. That's not just black people.
Okay.
But here's the difference.
Okay.
Those other people that's on the surface level have a system and a machine behind them. We don't. Think about that.
Okay.
Think about that for a second.
Okay.
You can live on the surface level if you have a machine or a system that's well ran to your benefit. We don't have that. We can't afford to stay on the surface level because we don't have a well-ran machine. Okay. Think about that.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
That just hit me. And look, man.
Sure.
This has been an ongoing, bro. People have been talking about this ever since the quote-unquote Emancipation Proclamation, and even before, man. The problems with black folks. We've had many ancestors, many master teachers, many scholars, many psychologists, so on and so forth, to lay out blueprint after blueprint after blueprint So that's why I don't even really, like I told you before, I really don't even like talking about it because it's repetitive.
Yeah.
But I try not to get too down on my people because I know something happened to us. And I never want to lose sight of that to where I'm pointing the finger like, oh, you just stupid. You just stupid. You innately this. No, don't ever miss that. Not saying nothing hasn't happened to other people. Because, some people say, oh, well, this, but I'm not doing that. I'm only talking about us. Something very seriously bad happened to us, and we still haven't 100% eradicated it.
Yeah. And see, that's why we do shows like this. We do shows. I mean, look, I can take it back to the mental space. So you heard me mention that I did the mental space on WLK. I split it, departed ways. My last episode was on Willie Lynchism and mental health, where I had Dr. Jillian Watley, a YouTuber influencer. I also had someone from the NAACP called into the show to break all that down, right? Now, the show that I was doing, it wasn't where the Breakfast Club is at. It wasn't where Club Shay Shay was at, but it was still out there. We have shows that do conversations, that have conversations like that.
All the time.
You know what I'm saying? I just think people who just engineer to want to, people in our community that just engineer to want to hear the stupidity, that want to hear the ratchetness, this, that, and the other, than the actual shows that me and you be doing. Because we got the internet, like you just said, we got Google. We got the internet, we got a influx of shows like this that have these uncomfortable conversations.
Definitely. That's what I'm saying.
But
Definitely.
Yeah.
Facts. But all people enjoy ratchet stuff, but it's just extremely detrimental to us because, like I said, of where we at in this time of day and at this point in history. Now, I want to kind of get back on subject because I don't want to be on too long either. I just wanted to chime in real quick about as far as this election. I'm not gonna put too much of my business out there because, like you, I work for corporate America and I know this is public, so I'm not gonna go too deep. So, but my decision for this election, the decision that I made it because I felt extremely pressured and bullied this election. And I wonder how many other people felt that way. Because I'm a natural system bucker, and I don't like feeling like I'm being forced to vote for someone. That word freedom is a funny thing. People love preaching freedom, the freedom to vote. Your ancestors died for your right to vote. But what they mean is, what they really mean, they died for your right to vote for the way they think you should vote. Because I've asked some people, and for the record, I didn't vote for Donald Trump. So let me put that out there for the record. But just to mess with some people, I asked them, I said, well, if you want me to go vote, is it okay if I go vote for Trump? Because that's freedom. That's my freedom, right?
Right.
They don't like that. And I don't like that. Freedom is a very tricky word because it goes multiple ways. Freedom don't just work towards your confirmation bias. Freedom is not just for your side of the coin. Freedom means the freedom to choose either or nor. That's what freedom mean to me.
Yeah.
That's freedom. So I ain't gonna say what I did, but just know politicians and people that deal with voting, your bullying tactics, your pressure, your over pandering, it really kind of moved me the wrong way. I don't like that feeling. Cause I'm not gonna go too deep into that because, like I said, I can really
Right. Well, tonight's topic, of course, is meant to get people to come on and talk about how they're feeling after the election results. Because I thought going in, it was going to be like, okay, well, all right, Trump won again. It is what it is, but we got to do better as Black people. We got to do better as a community to move forward, to push forward. But just from all the negative stuff that I've seen take on social media as a Black man, and I'm always dealing with so much stuff in my personal life, right? It just adds on to my high blood pressure to where I can still do my show right now. And I'm glad to have you came on to, because we're family, right? And I'm gonna be very candid with you, and I'm not gonna really, talk too much about it. But Tick is pretty much one of the few family members that support me. So really, on some real stuff, like 7 months I spent in Florida, not doing too much of media. I've been pretty much building this whole Reach One Communications thing and therapy and joking stuff like that. And Tick has been one of the few people that have really been supportive of what I'm trying to do. And it goes back to what I said earlier, and I know you got to go, Tick. And it goes back to what I said earlier. You got people out there that supporting Tyler Perry. In Atlanta, like he's already worth billions. And I'm trying to get folks like myself and other entrepreneurs based out of Atlanta to pretty much put themselves out there to show people Tyler Perry's not the only Black male in Atlanta that's making stuff popping.
I think most people know that.
Us.
Mm-hmm.
You need to support us, but I can't get that same thing from my own personal family.
Well, like I said, you may want to talk about it offline. But
Yeah,
I would just say personal accountability, Sean, personal accountability, living in reality, and knowing that you are in an extremely competitive market. Okay? Be realistic about where you at and with the market that you're in.
Absolutely.
Everybody got a mic and a headset. Bro, you know how many podcasts it is out here, man? I know you probably know better than I do.
It's close to 1 million right now.
Oh, all right, then. So you just put that in your own perspective. When you get down on yourself or when you start questioning things, your first thing is to do is look at the market you're in.
Absolutely.
And be realistic about that.
Absolutely.
Also know when to unplug. If that stuff really bothering you on social media, you can literally just turn your phone off.
Yeah, thank you.
Literally. Go watch TV, go play a video game. I don't know what you do for your leisure, but yeah, get off of it. I got on social media.
I know you're not only saying that to me, but I know you're saying that to everybody that, is on social media.
Right, but I'm mainly talking to, I'm talking to you, but yeah, of course, it could go to anybody. But yeah, I got on social media today just to watch how many people are emotionally flipping out. And I'm like, you all are too invested in something that may not directly affect you right away. Like, breathe. Black people have survived in this country for centuries. You think I'm worried about some guy that's supposed to be the big boogeyman, all of a sudden he's gonna be the end all to Black people? How much faith do you got in your people? How gullible can you be to think about all the things we've been through in this country that's tangible? Not conspiracy theories, not plausible, not fantasy. I'm talking about tangible things that has happened to us in this country that was very painful over centuries. And guess what? We still here, Sean.
Yeah. Yeah.
People talking about putting Black people back in slavery. Do you think Black people in this country, now you got your exceptions, obviously, but as a rule, do you think Black people in this country finna let anybody put this whole country will burn up?
Absolutely.
So what I'm saying, people, use some common sense. Don't let them panic you. Control what you can control, because that's something I had to learn in my life, Sean. Control what I can control, and what I can't control, just hope I come out of it enough where I've survived. Because when you start trying to think you can control everything or and you get too emotionally invested, that wears down on you, like with high blood pressure, and it can lead to stroke and all type of things. It can make you angry in your own home. You coming home cussing your kids out, cussing your spouse out, cussing your sister, your brother out because you really mad about something on social media. Come on, y'all. No. The election is the election. Kamala lost, in my opinion, because she didn't have a personality. She came off fake. But she is most deaf qualified for the job. Now, let's be honest. Educationally, she's qualified. And I think she would have been a good representative. But her charisma and her personality was just not connected with people.
Right. That's why I said earlier. I said that her campaign was ran off of entertainment.
Bad moves.
It was just ran off of entertainment.
And Trump's too, to a degree. Hey, let's not leave. Trump is trash.
Trump is entertaining. I wouldn't say Trump is entertaining.
Because he has charisma. Like Obama, he has a personality. For good or for worse, America is a popularity contest. Haven't we had this conversation before, y'all? Don't we know this by now? Are we in La La Land? Almost everything in America is a population. It's not population. Popularity contest. It goes what you were just saying earlier about, and I hope you're not just singling out Tyler Perry, but people like Tyler Perry. He's more popular than you. You and Tyler Perry could get on here right now and have two different agendas, and yours could make a lot more sense. More people gonna still go with Tyler Perry's agenda because they know him more than they know you.
And let me just say this for the record: I love Tyler Perry. I love Tyler Perry. He's
a respect to that brother.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't agree with everything he does, obviously, but hey, man, he's a mover, and he made it from the ground up. Respect to him.
Right. But what I'm saying is though, Tig, and I know you gotta go. What I'm saying
no,
is,
I'm good.
I wish people don't complain so much when you have people out here that is doing some stuff. Just like what you just said a few minutes ago. You said that there are people actually in our community that are actually doing stuff on
every day.
Yes. But they don't get to shine as these celebrities or these content
popularity contests.
Right. It's a popularity contest.
Yeah, but that's the world we live in, Sean. Unfortunately, that's why you will always have the same boring two-party system. I'm so bored with the two-party system. I'm so bored with it. People claim they vote for their interests, but most people vote based on the game they're in. They're just like Crips and Bloods. And it's funny, they both red and blue. I'm sure somebody already know, you got a red side and a blue side. It's like I'm riding with the Democrats, I'm riding with the Republicans. I'm so tired of that. I would love for a person to be able to come up from the dirt that's not part of neither party and have an actual chance. But we know they don't. Because of what? America is surface, and it's not just America, I'm sure this is worldwide, but I only can speak for the country I live in. America is popularity based.
Yeah. And I think another thing too is people forget that this is a business. This is a business.
America is a corporation. Yes.
Politics is a business.
Yes. And may I suggest a book to you, and I think I've told you about this book before, or to anybody that may be listening or listening later. It was a very interesting book I read called The Price of the Ticket.
Okay.
I can't remember the author's name right now.
Sure.
But I read that book one time and a half, but I didn't finish it that second time. Because it's a very interesting book on the game of politics as it applies to black people.
Sure.
And I think a lot of people should read that. I think, and it's a very, of course it ain't perfectly unbiased. You can't be but it's fairly unbiased. It's fairly unbiased. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Price of the Ticket. Check that book out. It has Obama on the cover and Malcolm X on the cover. They like the split screen.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a very good book. I try to tell people that made me look at politics differently. And by the way, it's not an anti-voting book for anybody thinking that it's one of them type of books.
Right.
But you should check it out.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna definitely check it out. Well, and you know, I love you, cousin. Good, always good talking to you. I know we talk about all things considered hip hop, but when I put that post out there on social media and you responded, I was like, you know what? Let me just invite him on to the show and just get what he needs to get out in this day and time after the election. It was just so many emotions that were running through so many people.
Yes.
In our community and outside our community. I just felt like, you know, this is a conversation we're having because we gotta, like I said, and I know I'm imparting this so many times, but we gotta stop eventually complaining and just do it and just go out here and do it. Like, you know, support Tick. I mean, Tick, you got a book, Goat 50. That is still out there. Go and support him and support me and Honey and Reach One Communications. But you know, like the women that are online saying that they're going to stop having sex.
I haven't seen it.
I've seen it. I've seen it. They're going to stop having sex.
Come on, bro. People just talk. A lot of them just talking right now. Yeah, like you said, they just emotional right now. People got very emotionally invested in this election. And guess what, Sean? Guess what? I'm going to show you a magic trick. I can predict the future. 4 years from now, it'll be the same thing.
Of course. Absolutely.
And guess what? Guess what? I'm about to wait. I got something coming, y'all. I got a transmission coming. Wait. 8 years from now, Sean, it's going to be the same thing. Oh, wait, y'all. Wait a minute. Oh. 12 years from now, it's going to be the same thing. So the point what I'm saying, I hope you got that. Stop it. They're going to do, after the next 4 years, guess what they're going to tell you, Sean? Vote or die. Oh, this is going to be the most important. Oh. When are you all going to get off the hamster wheel? When are you all going to stop thinking so surface level? And maybe look more into independent candidates. I would believe in this system a lot more if independent candidates actually had a chance to win. I would love that. And that's not saying Democrats and Republicans don't have, because if they got a great candidate, they should win. If Republicans got a great candidate, they should win. Whatever. It should be based on interest in politics and policies and so on and so forth. Not based on the gang signs and the colors.
And I agree.
Come on, y'all. Come on, man. It's boring. And I felt very bullied this election, Sean. Y'all bullied me.
Do you think it was because of the campaign ads on TV? Did you feel like it was coming from that direction where you felt you was bullied?
It came from YouTube, definitely, with their commercials and with peers of mine and just the atmosphere. You know, it's like forcing you had to vote for Kamala. And if you don't vote for Kamala, you trash, or you must be for Trump. And I don't like that.
Now you know my pain a little bit, Tick. Now you know my pain, because that's how I felt from not just only the campaign ads and from the social media, but the after effect from the election. Because when I saw the comments and people giving the FUs and the middle fingers at us, I felt like I was bullied.
You felt like
I was bullied.
Right, I understand. Yeah. It's triggering, man, but I'm not as stressed. Honestly, I'm not stressed at all.
Sure.
I'm just being honest with you, because I don't put much of my, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't put a lot of my personal space. I don't invest it into other people. I don't even know if that makes sense, but
that's true.
I try not to do that. You know, honestly, Sean, I look at a lot of stuff as entertainment purposes, even when it's serious.
You know what? You brought up a good point. I think I got to start looking at these from entertainment purposes and just laugh at it and stuff, because I know that certain things are temporary to me. mentally speaking, right? And just because people get on my nerves or they increase my stress level, it doesn't mean that I have to come down to that level.
Right.
I just have to just laugh it off or laugh at that people because I know that my circumstances are just temporary, or my dealings with that person is just temporary.
Yeah, you have to pick your battles. Like that Ghetto Boy song I love quote, the secret is to win.
Yeah.
The secret is to win. So sometimes you may have to tell the MF off. Sometimes you may have to go off. But you shouldn't do that every time. You know, sometimes it is best just to laugh it off. But you don't have to laugh it off every time. It's about balance. So sometimes you got to cuss somebody out. Yeah, that's fine. As long as you're willing to deal with the consequences. Now because I don't want to tell nobody nothing that you sitting up there like an idiot and you ain't ready to deal with the consequences. Just be ready to deal with the consequences of your decision or your action. But the secret is to win. I want to put that message out there, man. Word to the Ghetto Boy. Because I don't want to make it look like that was my philosophy. But that's why I first heard it. The secret is to win.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? You're right. I gotta, and this is our own therapy session, right? Once again, this is therapy in your show. This is why this ain't your show. Because, you know, from what Tim is saying right now, you gotta pick your own battles, right? And I'm learning every day to pick my own battles and not just let people get to me. Because there have been people that have gotten to me and to my stress level to where I got high blood pressure, you know? And I gotta realize that I'm not trying to die anytime soon. I mean, I know we're going to transition.
Right. But you ain't trying to push the button too early.
Exactly. You know what I mean? I've had people stress me out the past few weeks, even in family. And I'm not going to even get into that.
Yeah, I got you.
You know?
But you allow. But a lot of that you allow, and not just you, anybody. Yeah. You have to know how to set boundaries. You have to know when to say no, when to back off. You have to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. No, I don't remember the rest. But you remember that song? That's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But yeah, bro, you remember I told you about my ice cream eaters? Well, it's not mine. I got it from somebody else. But what he said about ice cream eaters, man, it's a lot of ice cream eaters out here. They just here to eat ice cream. And you up here arguing with somebody trying to put all these deeper levels of thought and conversation, and all they thinking about is strawberry ice cream.
Right. You just gotta let people be.
Yeah.
You gotta let people be, because what you know that that person doesn't know or what have you, it just doesn't compute with them, and that's fine. You just gotta let them be. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta focus on you and focus on your well-being. So I hear you.
Yeah, but don't let them get your blood pressure up, cause unplug, get off social media, and you'll find you something to do. So yeah, find you something leisure to do, man. Something mindless. Unplug and chill out, cause these people will drive you crazy if you let them. And I see people going like real crazy over this election, and I'm like, hey y'all, like you just said, you'll mess around and pass. But life goes on, and you done died over some crap. And the same people that you let stress you out, they still living.
Let me tell you something real quick, Ted. I remember when I was in high school, and this is when George W. Bush got elected to presidency, I want to say for the second time. And you know what, it probably was the first time, because President Obama was elected in 2008. When I was in high school, right, someone in my class, when they got news that President-elect George W. Bush Jr. was going to be the next president of the United States, that person in the class, once again, I want to remind people, this is when I was back in high school. That person in the classroom said that, oh, we're going back to slavery.
Are you serious? I
am dead serious.
Wow. Now think about that.
I am serious.
Wow.
Like arrest.
Think about that. So I'm glad. See, it's a cycle, man. We on the hamster wheel, bro. We on the hamster wheel. Like I said, in the next 4 years, 8 years, 12 years, 16 years, it's going to be the same conversation over and over again. Vote or die. It's the most important election of your life. Oh, if you don't, it's corny, man. I'm tired of it.
Yeah. All right.
Our ancestors, yes, they died for the right to vote. No doubt about it. They wanted to be able to participate in the voting system. But they also died for you to have the freedom to do what you wanted to do.
Yeah. Do you think that freedom, right? Because that's all I've been hearing throughout the campaign trail.
Wait, excuse me, Sean. Did you hear all that background sound static? Or was that just on my?
I hear a little bit of mine, but it's not as heavy as.
But I sound clear?
Yeah, you sound clear.
Yeah, it's a lot of, I hear a lot of, so I can hear you, but I may ask you to repeat yourself, but keep going, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, do you think that freedom, right? Because that was the whole thing during the campaign trail of Kamala Harris, right? You know, freedom. Do you think we take freedom for granted?
For granted?
Yeah, I was telling somebody this the other day, man. We take freedom for granted a lot because, you know, we're spoiled as a people. We're spoiled.
What you mean?
Spoiled in the sense of, and I remember my Aunt Shari, shout out to my Aunt Shari from Bronx, New York. I remember she reconnected with me in the 90s, right? And I remember she told me that she asked me this question. It was a hypothetical question. And she asked me, Sean, do you really believe that people would give up their fancy cars, their Escalades, and all that good stuff for the revolution? And I
you said for what? Give it up for what?
For the revolution.
Revolution,
Yeah, and I could not really understand, I couldn't really answer that question because I'm like, I you know, I'm in my teenage years, you know what I'm saying? I'm in my teen years. I didn't really understand that whole consciousness stuff that she was really trying to educate me on and everything. But now at 40, I now understood why she asked me that question. The question, once again, just to repeat it for those that didn't catch it, do you think people would give up their fancy cars, their Escalades, their nice cars for the revolution? So
no.
They buy from the fact that it's the whole spoiled thing.
No, they were not. Because most people are scared of the unknown. Like you said, we're comfortable now. Most revolutions are born out of a necessity. And even though we have some necessities that we do need to revolt against, revolt for, our comfort outweighs our, how can I put this? And basically what you just said, we're way more comfortable than we are in distress. Most people are pretty comfortable. And you're not going to have a revolution out of comfort. I can't think of a historical revolution that has ever happened out of comfort. You know, I'm sure it's an exception to the rule, but I promise you, as a rule, most revolutions happen out of necessity, out of uncomfort. So you said that we take freedom for granted.
Yeah.
I can see that now. Yes, yeah, we definitely take. But I would say more so we look at freedom very one-sided, like I said earlier, and that's what I don't like. And I've brought this up numerous times on social media throughout the years about different subjects. Freedom don't just work the way you think it should work. If we can accept that, I think a lot of us, what I perceive as freedom, you perceive as freedom, maybe two different things, but they both are valid because that's what's freedom to me. That's what's freedom to you. But you may not like what I view as freedom. But you're the same one saying we all need freedom. See, but when you hear about what I perceive as freedom, no, we can. But that's a problem. Another funny thing, and I know people probably ain't gonna like this. Oh Lord, when you think about religion, you got two people praying. Some people praying for Trump to get in office. Some people praying for Kamala to get in office. Trump got in office. Do that mean God favors Trump? Or vice versa. If Kamala won, does that mean God favors Kamala? It's funny to me when whose prayer got answered. Or I know somebody will say this. Well, Kevin, that's not for you to question. Maybe he won for something later. You know, it's all kind of ways you could be in there. But I like to put things simply. Two people praying. Matter of fact, I got an example for you. It's a meme I saw one time, and I can't remember it was like a shark, or maybe it was a wolf or a bear, but it was some type of predator. And it was a human. And the human was praying, please let me catch this bear. But they showed the bear praying, please let me be able to eat this human. That's pretty deep.
I get it.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if the bear gets to eat the human, do that mean that God favors the bear? Or if the human but come on, bro. Lord, it's funny to me, man. I find something like that funny.
Yeah. I remember you brought up the terms natural selection. I remember in one of our conversations we had in the past, you talked about natural selection and that people are naturally selected to survive, naturally selected to die, naturally selected to be born into a certain type of family, rich and or poor. And I didn't get that at first, to be honest with you, but now I got it at 40 because you start to question life as you get older, you know, and you start to think like, why naturally selected am I in this position? You know what I mean? Because I've done everything right. Like it goes back to earlier what I said in tonight's show. I've done everything right. I've done this for the radio station, and they still did not. And I know we talked about this offline a few months ago. I did everything right, and I did everything that I could for the radio station. But the radio station and I still had ties with each other, and it led me to pursue other endeavors to where now I'm in a position where I have my own TV company, I have my own CD company, I have my own radio company and everything. So, I mean, is that off of natural selection, or is it just God's will for the Almighty, the Most High, to put me in the seat that I am in now?
And see, that's not for a human to answer. See, I'm not one of the people that's going to sit up here and act like I got the answers. It's all theories. I mean, it could be easily said the decisions you make predict the future steps that will happen for you. So it could be just that simple. You made certain moves, certain decisions. This is the outcome. It could be that. Or it could be divinely motivated.
Right. So let's bring it back to the election, shall we? Let's bring it back to the election. Okay. So Donald Trump won fair and square, or allegedly won fair and square.
Right.
Okay. How about we kind of sit back and evaluate what went wrong during Kamala Harris' campaign? Because I talked to two people before we did this show, Ted. I talked to two people about 9 to 10 things that Kamala Harris did wrong in her campaign. I can pick out 9 to 10 things, starting off with the SNL skit, the bringing out Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B. I understand you trying to appeal to a younger audience, but people forget that people in Utah, Nevada, Oklahoma, and those other swing states don't listen to Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah, good point.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, people make choices every day without really putting too much thought into
how we got there.
Exactly.
Right. Facts. That's real talk. And also, that's another layer to the conversation of why here's another layer. America is inherently male chauvinistic, like most countries. Let's go there. Even women, these so-called pro-women, all these women rights advocates, a lot of them probably voted for Trump. Think about that. That's crazy. They'd rather see him in office than a non-white woman. Because I was talking to somebody earlier, he made a point. These women still got to go home. Not all of them, obviously. I'm just talking in a general statement now. Yeah. But these women still got to go home to their Trump-loving husband. You think they finna go vote for Kamala and got to go home to a Trump husband? How many people gonna live in that house, you think? No. They gonna vote with what their husband voted for. Because they on code.
Oh, okay. That's what I mean. That's what you mean by code when you said code earlier.
That's an example. Yeah. They are on code. When are we gonna learn this? Like somebody brought up a point about, you know how male chauvinistic these other countries are? Like, how serious are they gonna take a female president? I'm not saying this is right, of course. I'm not saying that because it's not right. I'm just talking about reality. This is a male chauvinistic world. Sexism and racism are big in this world. And like the guy I was talking to earlier said, she had the double whammy. She was non-white and she was a woman. She didn't, because Hillary was white, but she was a woman. She didn't have a chance. Now you're gonna bring somebody that's non-white and that's not right.
Yeah,
but that's the reality.
I was talking to somebody offline earlier today, and his father, who went through Jim Crow and everything, said to his son, America is not ready for a female president. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Because my retort to that was, you don't want to, how can I put it to you? You don't want to throw the baby out there with the bathwater, because I always think about the possibility. Right? Because remember now, Tupac said in his song, there would never ever be a black president.
Well, I don't think he didn't say never, he said we ain't ready.
We ain't ready, okay.
Right.
We ain't ready for a black president, but we ended up getting one anyway.
A blackish one, yes.
Yeah, I say that the only way you can get a woman president, and this is just the opinion of Sean Garvey, and the opinions to, I want to make sure I put this disclaimer to, the opinions and views does not necessarily reflect those of Reach One Network, there being no joke in any of this broadcast. I think that the only way a woman can get into office is if it's coming from a Republican Party.
I agree.
That's what I said too.
I agree. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I can see that. They would have to have no choice. Yeah, if they had a that's a good point. Yeah, if they had a white female Republican candidate, she would have a chance over a black male Democrat candidate, for example. Yeah, but I'm just tired, like I said already, man, I'm just tired of the whole two-party system, same old, you know, I'm tired of it, man. It gets boring, repetitive.
Well, at least the commercials are done. You know, the ads.
Yeah, it should be done.
We're done. But that's it.
Oh, and let me show you this real quick. Wait a minute. I'm gonna show you how. I know my friend gonna get me for this. Wait, hold on.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, we got Mia in the stage room, in the green room, I should say. She is standing by. She's gonna come on in just a few moments once after my cousin Tick gets offline, and she's gonna throw in her 2 cents and everything pertaining to last night's election and the election results. If you just Tick again, there being no joke, we're talking to, and I know I haven't been putting out the showrunner throughout the entire show. We just had so much going on. You know what happens whenever emotions run high, and as host and producer, you don't really do what you're supposed to do. But the showrunner for tonight's show is, how are you feeling after the election results, and my cousin Tick, he's about to show me something real quick before he logs on. I thought you was about. Oh, you know what? I remember seeing this on your social media live earlier today. First name and last name spelled out the same.
This is a friend. This is a friend of mine. And he said, and they sent this to me in the mail. And this just pushed me over the edge. When I saw it,
I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, Tick. That is scary to me.
Yeah, I didn't like, and that, I mean, not him now, because I know he don't mean nothing bad at all. He was just doing his civic duty and trying to promote voting. So that's not nothing against my friend. Let me make sure that's clear. Okay. But just the idea, I just thought this was so, and I found it more funny than anything. But it pushed, I was like, you know what? No. I know my decision now.
When I saw that picture for the first time, I thought that was a picture of Sidney Poitier. And I was like, you know that Sidney Poitier passed away.
Right, yeah, no, that's my friend. yeah, my old friend of mine. Yeah, I've been knowing him since I moved here from Chicago back in '92. So he's a real, good older friend. But yeah, when I saw that, I looked at that mailbox, Sean. I said, I know you're kidding me. So
they got me too. They got me.
Yeah, they wore me out. I feel bullied. I feel beat up. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, y'all have made my decision for me. So
yeah,
and that's why my little moniker under my I self-define says I'm just happy to be here, man. And that's what I'm living with. I'm glad to be still living, and I'm gonna control what I can control. And I suggest that to my cousin and anybody else. Control what you can control, and what you can't control, try to take care of it the best way you can.
Yeah.
And just hope you come out of it still alive.
Right, absolutely, facts. Rhonda says I'm getting off the wheel.
What that mean?
I'm getting off the wheel. Because you mentioned earlier, people need to get off the hamster wheel. We're on this hamster wheel.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we need to get off the wheel. A lot more people really need to start looking more out of the same old. Because you know what they say about insanity? We've all heard it. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
Oh, but you need to get the same result.
And like I told y'all, I'm a magic genie. I got special powers. Remember, I predicted 4 years from now, we're gonna be it's gonna say the same thing. It's gonna be voter died and your ancestors died, and it's gonna be the end of the world. It did 8 years, 12 years, 16 years. Remember, y'all heard it here first.
Yeah, and you didn't hear it on The Simpsons. If you didn't hear it on The Simpsons, because they're very good at predicting.
They heard it here. I predicted that because of my magic power.
Okay.
That's what we're gonna roll with.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, Cousin Tick, love you, man. Got to bring you back on the show one day. All right, and we'll talk offline.
All right, peace, everybody.
All right. Peace. All right, therapy ain't no joke. It ain't no joke. Trump 295, Harris 226. That is the outcome. Yep. Whew. I need a break. We got Mia, who is getting ready.
Hi.
Hello, Mia.
Hello.
Yeah, we're doing a grab bag tonight for tonight's show. We get people's thoughts and insights from last night's election all the way up to now, people's reaction on social media and everything. We're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna bring you back on in just about 4 minutes. Okay, we're gonna allow you to give your 2 cents on everything because we spoke off the air. You was very passionate, just like my cousin was.
Yeah. I'm having a hard time with Eric.
Okay. And I want to remind people, Mia, that anything that you missed while tonight's show, Therapy and a Joke, you can go on demand. Beatwork Radio, make sure you follow us there and click the like, subscribe button. Beatwork Radio, if you missed any of tonight's show. And we want to remind people that please send a donation. Please support the podcast, support the show. $sign Beach One Communications. Right? Therapy and a Joke. I feel a little bit better, Mia. Before we go into our commercial break, I feel a little bit better. I had a high blood pressure.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad you feel better.
Yeah, I had a lot of people.
That's no joke. Man, I'm so tired.
I know. High blood pressure is not a joke.
No, it's not. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. Are you taking anything?
I am.
What are you taking?
So I am taking, I don't know if I can say it here. I know I am taking some organic herbs right now. Big shout out to Dr. Dixon of Aloe.
Okay. It's just so hard to hear. I'm so sorry.
Oh, here? Okay. Do you have any earbuds or any headphones that you can get while we on commercial break mode?
Yeah, let me hurry up.
Okay, take your time. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and then when we come back, we're going to get Mia to come on, and so she can drop in her details on election night and how she's been feeling after the election or even during the election. But you want to hear the news, the link is at the bottom. You are tuning in on YouTube, and we're going to be right back after this word from our PSA. There being no joke. Sure ain't no joke right here on the show. We'll be right back after this minute. Hey, it's fire.
I'm Ben Affleck, and I want to thank you for joining me and supporting Paralyzed Veterans of America.
I joined the Navy to serve my country as a Navy SEAL. While parachuting with my platoon, my parachute didn't open. And I broke my neck. It left me paralyzed. Paralyzed Veterans of America was by my side from that moment on.
Since 1946, Paralyzed Veterans of America has kept a promise to our wounded veterans. We will never leave a fallen comrade behind.
Thanks to PVA, paralyzed veterans are getting specialized medical care and treatments, the benefits they've earned, the jobs they want, and the accessible vehicles and homes they need.
I just don't think my family would be as happy as they are without the support that I received from Paralyzed Veterans of America.
Our veterans fought for us. Let's fight for them.
To learn more, go to pva.org today.
I'm Ben Affleck, and I want to thank you for joining me and supporting Paralyzed Veterans of America.
I joined the Navy to serve my country as a Navy SEAL. While parachuting with my platoon, my parachute didn't open. And I broke my neck. It left me paralyzed. Paralyzed Veterans of America was by my side from that moment on.
Since 1946, Paralyzed Veterans of America has kept a promise to our wounded veterans. We will never leave a fallen comrade behind.
Thanks to PVA, paralyzed veterans are getting specialized medical care and treatments, the benefits they've earned, the jobs they want, and the accessible vehicles and homes they need.
I just don't think my family would be as happy as they are without the support that I received from Paralyzed Veterans of America.
Our veterans fought for us. Let's fight for them.
To learn more, go to pva.org today.
I'm Ben Affleck, and I want to thank you for joining me and supporting Paralyzed Veterans of America.
I joined the Navy to serve my country as a Navy SEAL. While parachuting with my platoon, my parachute didn't open. When I broke my neck, it left me paralyzed. Paralyzed Veterans of America was by my side from that moment on.
Since 1946, Paralyzed Veterans of America has kept a promise to our wounded veterans. We will never leave a fallen comrade behind.
Thanks to PVA, paralyzed veterans are getting specialized medical care and treatments, the benefits they've earned, the jobs they want, and the accessible vehicles and homes they need.
I just don't think my family would be as happy as they are without the support that I received from Paralyzed Veterans of America.
Our veterans fought for us. Let's fight for them.
To learn more, go to pva.org today.
I'm Ben Affleck, and I want to thank you for joining me and supporting Paralyzed Veterans of America.
I joined the Navy to serve my country as a Navy SEAL. While parachuting with my platoon, my parachute didn't open. When I broke my neck, it left me paralyzed. Paralyzed Veterans of America was by my side from that moment on.
Since 1946, Paralyzed Veterans of America has kept a promise to our wounded veterans. We will never leave a fallen comrade behind.
Thanks to PVA, paralyzed veterans are getting specialized medical care and treatments, the benefits they've earned, the jobs they want, and the accessible vehicles and homes they need.
I just don't think my family would be as happy as they are without the support that I received from Paralyzed Veterans of America.
Our veterans fought for us. Let's fight for them.
To learn more, go to pva.org today.
And we are back 3 minutes past the top of the hour. Good evening, overtime. Welcome back to Therapy Ain't No Joke. Sean Garvey, broadcasting live on Honey. Download the Honey app to your Roku TV. You can also tell Alexa play. I was about to say News Talk of the ADWA, okay, my old radio station. No, don't tell Alexa that. Tell Alexa to play Reach One Network so you can check me out and my guests live. Therapy Ain't No Joke. And don't forget to follow us at Beat Break Radio on YouTube. And you can also follow us on the Mental Space Show on YouTube as well. We're going to be broadcasting live. It looks like we're going to have to push this show live up to 11 p.m. instead of 10 p.m. We're in overtime mode right now, only because I want to make sure that I bring on this guest on to give her 2 cents on everything that's been going on throughout this entire day regarding the post-election. We're in post-election day, and a lot of reactions have went through the wire from people via social media that have said so many things. People who voted for Trump said a lot of good things. It's been a very big celebration for people on the right who have voted for Trump, and not so much of a good celebration for people who voted for Kamala Harris on the left that have been saying some things that kind of somewhat rubbed me the wrong way, especially as an African-American man, and I wanted to address that during the 2 hours of the show. Let me just say this before I bring back Neil on. What I said earlier is not to belittle all African American women. I love my African American women. I come from an African American woman. I just don't want to be put into boxes or be put into a box and people on social media generalizing people that may or may not have voted for a particular party, and now it has become the downfall of what is to come. I said a lot of stuff to both DJ Rolo and Tick. Big shout out to both of them who have came on during the 2-hour set of the show. We're in third hour of the Therapy and the Joke Show. We're going a bit overtime here, just like I predicted, because it's a hot button topic as we're touching on the post-election results and how you are feeling from a mental health standpoint. Let me just say this from a mental health perspective. People, please calm down. Calm down. I would want to suggest people, especially for all my social media users out there, social media users, I'm going to need you all to take a sabbatical break from using all forms of social media for at least a couple of days or a week or however long it takes to help you get back to a sense of normality. We need you all just to calm down and breathe. Okay? It's 4 years. And that may seem a whole lot to a lot of people. But just like what my cousin Tick said, we're going to be back here doing the same thing after the next 4 years. And I've seen this play out before election season even started. Because think about it. Before August, or late August, because that's when the whole circus started happening, or no, I would say around July, somewhere in July of this year. What we were talking about, what is, as broadcasters and as content creators, what have you been talking about during the first 6 to 7 months of 2024? I can name you 3 men. Black men. Cat Williams, Diddy, Jonathan Majors. 3 black men. And that's why I came on the show tonight as a African American man to really say everything that needed to be said and get everything off my chest, because we're tired of being put in a box with other black men that may not come off as a person with good intentions. I shared a little bit, and I probably shared too much than what I should have. But this is a safe space for everybody, including myself. This is a safe space for people to express and get things off my chest. But I said what I said earlier. And I said it for a reason, ladies, because some of you all don't know the struggles of a black man. I'm just going to say that out in the open. I said what I said about my split from News to Talk 1380 WOK. And let me just say this for the record. News to Talk 1380 WOK is one of the most prestigious and accredited radio stations in the country. And I am so honored and blessed to have been a part of that radio station for 7 years, working behind the scenes and as an on-air talent for not just only the mental space, but for other shows that I had the capability of being on the airwaves. And let me also say this for the record. My boss was a woman. Okay? My boss was a woman. Or is a woman. Because she still maintains that position. I want you to all to understand that the outcome from today in result to last night's election is beyond gender. This is about business. This is about business, capitalism, everything you can think of. And popularity, to Tick's point that came on earlier. It's a popularity contest. And I want you all to understand, especially the social media users and the people that have came at us on social media. This is way bigger than a black man voted for Trump. And I'm not saying that I voted for Trump or anything of that nature. I'm saying that we as black men are still under attack and being blamed for every single thing. And the question we have to ask ourselves is, when, as us as black men, going to put an end to this? When? When? I'm just saying. Because a lot of you ladies out there, single mothers or women that are married, you have black sons. And if not, you have black nephews, black cousins, black brothers. What kind of world do you want them to be in the next 5 to 10 years or 20 years? What kind of world do you want them to be in? So I want you all to marinate. There's another part of the story that I wanted to share with you all too. And it's pertaining to my struggles as a black man in this country because, you know, of course, I've been on both sides of the fence. I've been unemployed, I've been poor, I've been homeless, everything you can think of. I don't know if I'm ready to share this story, but I'm just going to give you the clip note version before I bring Mia back on. I took an opportunity to go to a local mega church in Atlanta. I'm not going to say the name of the church, but it's a mega church in Atlanta. And I took the opportunity to participate in a job fair for this mega church. I simply just wanted to apply and put myself out there to be a part of their media production department. I went through the interview process, and I was interviewed by two women, two African American women. Okay, so let me just emphasize on that. I was interviewed, and I thought I killed it. A few days later, they rejected me. I didn't get the job. Now I'm used to other companies in the media world from rejecting me. I'm used to that. But as a black man in America that only wanted to get a job or get a career that I love doing, that I'm very invested in, and that I'm very well qualified for them to reject me was at the time a slap in the face, especially being a pillar in the community, right? But after listening to my cousin Tig, who was on just a few minutes ago, you got to look at the market that you're in, and that it's all about business. I want you all to take away from this election and understand that this is all about business. It could be personal to some extent, you know, but it's business. And displaying your emotions on social media is not going to solve the problem. It's not. Complaining is not going to solve the problem. We have to invest, people, into our own. I have my own company, I have my own platform. You can see here at the bottom of the ticker, which is about to come up, Cash App, Reach One Communications. Invest in y'all. Idris Elba just announced that he is going to be setting up film productions in Africa. How many of you all are on board with that? I can guess a number. and it's not very high. So I'm just saying, just some food for thought there. But as far as my experience with this church or whatever, I'm gonna save it for another day and time because I want to bring this guest on to the mental space to give her 2 cents on how she been feeling throughout this election process. So that's gonna be for another podcast show. Okay, 2025 is gonna be the year of a lot of things that you are gonna learn. Well, let me reintroduce this guest on, ladies and gentlemen. She is a registered voter, and I wanted to make tonight's show just a show where we bring on registered voters to weigh in on the conversation. And let me just put up the showrunner for those that are just tuning in. How are you feeling after the election results? How are you feeling? How are you feeling after the election results? So let's bring back on Mia. A registered voter.
Hi.
Correct?
Yes, I am a registered voter.
Thank you for waiting patiently in the queue. How are you doing? How? Let me ask you this, because I like to ask my guests this. How is your mental health, first of all?
How is my what?
Mental health.
My mental health?
Yes.
On a scale of 1 to 10?
On a scale from 1 to 10, or it could be from a scale from 1 to 20?
1 to 20, no. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say at least 7, 8.
Why is it at a 7 or an 8?
Well, reckless decision choices or predicaments that got me in my situation that I'm sorting out. So yeah, life took a couple of turns. Life took a couple of turns on me that were unexpected. And sorting them out, I think I went a little chaos in life, but everything's getting back on track as it always does.
Yeah, you just gotta have that mindset, if you will, knowing that things gonna be on track. So we're talking about election results. I know you've been keeping your ear to what's been going on in the news, and I actually have, as we're speaking right now, Mia, I actually have my news on the on Fox News right now, and according to Fox News right now in real time, Mia, they are saying that several races still need to be called in Nevada. Now, even though, as it is reported, courtesy of AP, short for Associated Press, Trump has 295 of the electoral votes, as far as Kamala Harris has only 226, but Nevada still needs to be called for. So let's talk about your mental state during the preliminary stages going into the election. What was your mental state at the time going into the early stages of the voting process and the election process? Where were you at?
Oh gosh, I was a nervous wreck. I mean, I really was. I'm not trying to say who I voted for, but it's really hard how to answer this question without hurting anyone's, feelings. But it was just crazy. I don't think I could survive another 4 years under that administration. And when they asked a certain candidate if they would change anything now from the last administration to this administration, and they were like, no. Yeah, I went a little crazy. I was working 2-3 jobs just to keep me above water. That's just above water. So yeah, my mental state was a little havoc.
Yeah, would you say that, because I heard you mention 2 or 3 jobs, right?
Yes.
And I remember there was a time where you could only work 1 or 2 jobs and still be able to maintain some type of financial stability, if you right?
Yes. Not only that, you can still have a social, personal life, I'm working 2-3 jobs just to stay above water. That's not no savings. That's none of that. That's just paying bills and eating, and buying the necessities, and it's just a circle, which is sad.
Yeah. What do you think, in your opinion? And I want to make sure that I let people know that this is a safe space for people like yourself.
Thank you.
to come on and
Yes.
express themselves. But what do you think was the pivotal point in where you went from having to just only work one job or one or two jobs to where now you're working multiple jobs? What do you think that pivotal moment happened?
Oh God, Renette, I want to say like in gosh, I don't know. In 2020, of course, everyone came to a down front because of COVID. I mean, I don't think anyone could sustain because of what happened. I believe that after COVID, it just changed the whole world. We're at a different form now because it changed a lot. And since then, it hasn't really gotten back on track. So I can actually say 2020 was when I noticed that things were just, it went haywire.
Yeah. How did it affect you mentally in 2020?
Mentally?
COVID, yes. I mean, COVID.
So, right, with COVID. So, oh God, how did it affect me mentally?
Yeah.
I mean, didn't need a therapist, but I definitely needed something to cope. And my friends and family, that was a good supportive system to keep me stable, humble. But that loving, you need that love and care and support to keep your mental state intact. And blessing that I do have that.
Okay. So
during that time was, I'm sorry. So 2020 was a little hard, but having, again, family, friends, helps a lot. So my mental state was, I was okay. Again, that was a blessing, but it changed all the finances. Did I go a little crazy? Well, sure. Finances were going out the window, and nothing was coming in. So, but I think that was just the whole country. Everybody was just uproar.
Yeah, it was, I would say, or I would argue that 2020 brought out a lot of people to where they had to rethink about their structure, or they had to kind of downgrade from what they've been used to. But it also, and especially in the space that we're in as broadcasters and as content creators, we've seen a couple of people that flourished from the pandemic, working from home and decided to create their own content, and now they're making anywhere from thousands to millions. It's so interesting, right? I was looking at the documentary of OnlyFans, and OnlyFans been around for a while before the pandemic happened, right? And then when the pandemic happened, and people were just so used to staying at homes and they couldn't go anywhere or whatever, it produced a lot of OnlyFans content creators to where now they're making a killing. They're making pretty much almost to $1 million.
Right. You just had to, again, like you had said, it brought a lot of, people got very creative. And OnlyFans, some people did very well. I heard some celebrities are killing it.
Yeah.
And the OnlyFans, millions. I'm like, wow. But I think it did change the whole everything. It changed the world, the whole world.
Yeah. But the reason why we bring up 2020 is because this happened under Trump watch, and we could argue and speculate that Trump didn't get the win that he wanted against Biden because of not just only the handling or the mishandling of the COVID-19 pandemic, but also the insurrection that took place at the Capitol. And, even people from the right was like, oh, no, we can't have this man back in office. And then they tried it with Joe Biden for 4 years, and we saw how this is turning out to be a catastrophic event for people who are suffering economically, especially when you're sending
Right.
trillions of dollars to
Ukraine.
and overseas and what have you, and how it's hurting Americans. So where were you at during that thought process? Transitioning from Donald J. Trump to Joe Biden. Where was your mindset at now, or what were your circumstances during that time?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, I just don't understand how Joe Biden won. I really don't. I don't know how he got voted into it because he never did anything. He never created a bill. So I was a little confused. I understand what Donald Trump's done, the things that I know that some people hate, but under his administration, I didn't suffer financially. I understand the COVID, but that was something that's really out of anyone's control. People were dying, people were very sick, and I don't know if I was the president, and I'm a pretty caring, generous, and equal person, but I don't know how I would be able to handle that, to come up with some kind of remedy to, fix that major tragedy. Because like I said, and I say tragedy because it did change the world. I mean,
a lot of lives were lost. A lot of lives were lost.
A lot of lives were lost. So, I mean, it was a freak of nature. You cannot comprehend it. You just have to learn how to live with it. Because I hear there are still different strands of COVID even today. But technology or medicine has done wonders to help with people that, now we can fight off the COVID and see what it is, the threat and everything. So, again, that's just a new disease that I think it's here to stay. I don't think we're ever going to get rid of it. You just have to know how to manage it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So it was just introduced to us in 2020.
Yeah. And that's when we started having serious conversations about mental health. And even though my show, The Mental Space on WAOK 1380 here in Atlanta, came in 2022, it was still an ongoing conversation on people's mental health and where people were at mentally, 2 years after the pandemic. I mean, the pandemic wasn't even that long ago. The pandemic seemed like it was yesterday.
Right. We're still fresh. I mean, we're just in 2024. It's still 4 years. If you put it as a human, it'll be a child. So, I think it's still kind of fresh. But as far as mental, you're right. It was I drank a lot more, that's for sure, because I was working from home. So I drank a lot more. And unfortunately, a lot of these companies continue having some people work from home because they realized that it was more sufficient for the company to save money.
Yeah.
So a lot of these companies still let them stay working from home because it saves on everything.
Right.
Everybody's happy. It's a win-win-win situation for everyone. So as long as you're meeting deadlines and you're still being productive at work and getting the job done, I don't see the problem.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
Now let's fast forward to election night, 2024. Kamala Harris versus Trump. A lot of things, a series of events led up to what we saw last night and right now. And we talked offline, and I threw out some bullet points on some things that I honestly felt didn't work in Kamala's favor versus Trump. What do you think about the whole process? Just in regards to how everything played out between Donald J. Trump and Kamala Harris.
Well, To be frank, I was pretty bold for her to run. I was shocked when she decided to run and how she thought she was going to win. For the simple fact that I know she was VP, but as a VP, she had 2 jobs and she failed at both, you know? So when she started running, I didn't take her seriously because of her failing her original tasks. You know, she was assigned the border and the negotiation of Ukraine, well, with Ukraine and Putin, and look how that turned out to be. We're giving out billions and billions of money to them, and she's just signing it off. Not to forget what happened with Helen at the hurricane, when she was telling people that they could apply online with electricity. I remember back in the day, and I'm probably expressing some of my age now, but when there was a disaster, a weather disaster, the government would send people out there with trucks with loads of supplies and go out there with pieces of paper and write information down, you know, and get it done. This is the way it was done before. I understand that it's much better with technology, but again, these people didn't have no power. How do you want them to operate? You know, that was really an insulting idea. And if someone gave her that idea, she should have, as VP, was vice commander of the U.S., should have stopped and put her 2 cents, her input, think for herself logically. And without that, she just, you know, just out there just spewing information and giving people false hopes. So I was a little taken back when she ran. Again, it's just, she had 2 tasks, the border. We know how the border's going. I don't have any problem with people coming here. Just do it the right way so we can document people that are coming into our country. We know what type of people are coming into our country. And that's it. I have no problem with people coming in. Just do it the right way. That's all. And second, the Ukraine and Putin war. So, and like you mentioned, we've given out billions and billions of dollars while I'm working 2-3 jobs because I'm trying to stay above water. You know, let's not talk about the inflation with everything, because you know how that's going as well. People have made comments about that as well. Many comments about not being able to afford the grocery bill, the groceries and everyday life. So I was taken back when she ran, when she was running for president. Yeah, that's how I feel about that situation.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people, you know, this whole thing, Mia, where people are placing the blame on previous presidents that are the reason why we're in the situation that we're in right now, and that this previous president set up this president that we have right now to be in the situation that we're in economically and financially, right? And I remember saying this to you offline. We lost that whole thing of community, if you will, you know, from a financial standpoint. And what I mean by that, if I can elaborate a little bit more, is that we spend a lot of money on things that we don't need, especially in today's world, in 2024. You know, we're hyper consumers, right? And we also pour in money into other people's podcasts and shows that are not empowering us as a community.
Okay.
And so it's like a double-edged sword, if you will. So we know that inflation is real. We know that recession is real. We know that prices are very high. When you go into a grocery store, a loaf of bread is $5 or $4,
$5.
You know, depending on what grocery store you go to, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? But where is the money going into? I mean, how are we going about spending at the end of the day?
I concur.
Yeah.
I would like to know where that money's going to, what, because we're, trillions in debt. So yes, I would like to know where is actually that money going to. I know Donald Trump was talking about tariffs and all of that stuff, and maybe he won't raise it where us the consumer have to pay it, but maybe it gets them back to the negotiation table or something they can negotiate where the Americans are not getting the short end of the stick. I don't know. I mean, with that man, you just don't you don't know. But one thing for sure is I think he's trying to, I don't know. I don't want to say this because everyone thinks he's a bad man, but I don't know. I think when he was in office, I wasn't struggling financially like I am today. Like I can't tell you when was the last time I was working 3 jobs and I didn't have money to spoil myself.
But some people would say it's because of the stimulus check. Did it have anything to do with the stimulus check or no?
At the end of the day, we all paid it back with our taxes. We all had to pay it back, I think. I don't know. I didn't receive one. So I don't know. I could
the stimulus check, but you said you made a lot of money during the Trump administration, and I mean, make it make sense to a lot of people because some people will argue and say that, Trump wasn't really responsible for the checks that were given out, the stimulus check. It was because of somebody else in office and that sort of thing.
So correct me, because maybe I'm wrong information, but correct me. I thought the stimulus checks were under the Biden administration. Were they not?
Biden wasn't even in office
when they were giving out the stimulus checks. Okay, then I'm not. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm excuse my incompetency to be up this, but I thought it was that. So pardon me. No. Again, under the Trump, I mean, it was COVID that screwed up everything financially, but getting back on track was hard, but it wasn't as hard as it is now. Like, I can't afford anything right now. It's crazy. It's crazy. Insurance, like insurance, car insurance, health insurance, mortgage. Yeah.
And what does that do to your mental health?
I mean, I feel like it's overwhelming. Absolutely, it's overwhelming. But I guess because, you just have to continue going. But maybe, with this new administration, maybe things would change. But mentally, I'm still striving. I'm still hustling. I'm still trying to put one foot, forward and march forward. That's all I can do. But for my mental, I haven't lost it, but it's just overwhelming. It's chaos, but with survival mode, I guess you would say.
Oh, you just said it right there. Keyword, survival mode.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where a lot of people, especially their reasoning for voting this particular person over that particular person, is because they're thinking about survival mode. They're thinking about, okay, where's my next paycheck going to come from? If I'm ever going to get a job, even though a lot of jobs have been outsourced and been sent over to foreign lands. Like, where's my next paycheck coming from, right?
Right.
You know that from an economic standpoint, that causes a lot of anxiety for a lot of people.
Right. I mean, anxiety, of course, it's there because of everything that's happening, with, like I said, working 2-3 jobs. I feel like one paycheck is to pay my bills, the other paycheck is for necessities, food, you know. And the third job is so you can have a little bit of money to buy things that you need. So yeah, it's just it can be a little nerve-wracking. It has been nerve-wracking. Anxiety is through the roof. Yeah, stress, absolutely, absolutely.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you gotta love yourself, right? This is just part of life, you know. Life's not fair, and it will never be fair. So, acceptance of that and just self-love, self-care should help. Will help.
Yeah, that's a good segue. You know, I believe that even in the outcome that we have received, everybody deserves some type of access to therapy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because we can look at it from both sides. Like, okay, Kamala lost, right, which caused a lot of disappointment in a lot of people that voted for her, especially for women. And of course, the abortion rights, the reproductive rights that women have been fighting for, that can definitely cause, you know, not even anxiety, but trauma, if you will, you know, for a lot of women that have
Oh, absolutely. I agree.
So I think that's something that also needs to be addressed to a lot of women that have been very vocal about that.
Right. Right. Abortion. Well, I'm pro-choice. You know, I believe a woman should do what she wants to do with her body. And you had, you know, I don't have anything about Kamala coming president. It'd be great to have a woman president. Just want the right candidate. That's all. That's all. Yeah. Just want the right candidate.
And you
know.
feel, and once again, you know, this is safe space. I want to remind you. You feel that she, in the last few weeks of her candidacy, you feel as though she just wasn't the right person to be the next president-elect? I mean, like I said, there were a few things in her campaign that rubbed me the wrong way, of course, that sent out mixed messages to me. And let me also be clear to everybody that's watching, right? Because I've been promoting this on social media. I was one of the audience members for the BET Black Man Summit that took place a few weeks ago, that was moderated by D.L. Hughley, who's been very vocal during this election campaign. And my position, and I'm just only speaking to the audience here, my position on it was, I want to hear what other men are saying, especially men that look like me. I want to hear what other men are saying in the midst of the fact that we could be electing our first female president of the United States who is of color. You know, if you want to argue whether she's black or not, she is of color. And I, you know, I want to be in that space where I'm hearing other people too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, completely. I don't have anything. It's just, again, if Kamala had done right by her two tasks, then yeah, I'd be rooting for her. But you know, your reputation exceeds you, right? It follows you, and I'm just judging her by her past experience of doing government work. That's all. Nothing personal that but it's great that a woman's out there running for a president. It's great. I mean, that's, you know, phenomenal. That's bravo. I just didn't think she was the right fit for president. So
that's everything.
Yeah, let's go with that.
So what do you have to say to women that feel the opposite of what you're saying?
Well, I
that
just
was a hard pill to swallow.
It is. No, because I mean, I would want her to, you know, I would want for a woman to be running president. I would love it. That would be great. but and honestly, I don't know of a woman that would be great for the position. Um, uh, Again, it's really difficult. I don't know. I can't think of a woman's name. I know some of them come to mind, but I don't remember. I can't recall their name. But some do come to mind. But just again, I have to say, her being in position and not doing what her true task speak volumes. That's all. And she did them very poorly, as we all see what's going on with our country. And you mentioned, I don't want to sound like a broken record here, saying the same thing over and over and over. I'm happy that someone was fighting for our abortion rights. I don't know. Trump says something else. I mean, he says things and then he says he does something else. So I don't know. But I am pro-choice. And I don't know how a woman could, if she falls herself pregnant, she can't, for healthy reasons, not for medical reasons, not for, just to abort the child and use it as birth control, but,
sure.
Use it as needing. Then, yeah. It's a very touchy subject.
It is. It's
very touchy subject. Mm-hmm.
It's very sensitive. It's
very sensitive. Yeah.
And that's why we just, having this conversation tonight on Thursday. So, because like I said, I didn't come in with the intention of coming on live tonight, but the reactions that I'm seeing on social media, I'm like, ooh, there's so many people that need to go seek therapy. Because let's keep it real. It's a lot of people who are just mentally ill.
It is. And that's why I say try to have friends, good friends. It's also hard to find. Fortunate that I have one to talk to, because it does help, because your mind can play tricks on you and you can fall into a depression, and that is a disease, and it's easy to get into. Very easy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, when someone seeks something, seek out help. Absolutely. Seek out someone that you can talk to, just vibe with. Just someone you can vent to. That also just helps. You should, I wouldn't, I would say, have someone to talk to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Yeah.
I've had some encounters where I would be somewhere and I would strike up a conversation with a stranger, and because it was a stranger, there was no reason for me to say anything and just be raw. And sometimes that came out to be helpful.
Yeah.
I've had those encounters.
Oh, you had them too. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've had those encounters.
Okay.
I think those are blessing in disguise.
Yeah. Yeah. You never know who you're gonna bump into or who you're gonna meet, and you have that one conversation. And we've all been there. We had that one conversation with somebody, and they said something that really stood out to us. And we're like, oh, I didn't think about that.
Right. They give you a new perspective, right? Like they say, either how do you see the glass? Is it half full or half empty?
Half empty, yeah.
Yeah. So it's just different perspectives, but your mental is very important, and I've always said if you need someone, seek out help. Anything, but just do something that is going to make you happy.
Yeah. I think before we get off, because I know we're all in overtime mode, but I think a lot of people need to seek therapy after this election. Even the ones that say, I don't need therapy, I already know what the problem is. No, you need to go seek it. And this is why therapy ain't no joke. Because, like I said earlier in the program, the amount of comments, Mia, that I've seen
I can imagine
on social media, it hurt. It hurt me, and that's why I needed
I'm
both
sorry.
DJ Rolo and Ted to come on before you came on and be the voice of reasoning to all these chaos that have been through the wire all day or even the days leading up to the election. Because, you know, it's something that, oh, actually, you know what, it's 2 points that I want to make. And I'm glad that it just came to my mind before the end of the show, because I don't want to go back and listen to the show and be like, dang, I got to write this up. I remember when I was down in Florida, because once again, people, I was in Florida working for Homeland Security. And I was in the post office one day in this long line. And I just happened to strike up a conversation with a lady that was standing behind me. I didn't know if she was a Republican or a Democrat. It didn't matter. And, you know, I bring up something to her, just telling her, you know, hey, I just want to ask a question to one of the people behind the desk. That's all I'm trying to do in this long line that I'm standing in. And so during the conversation with everybody tuning in, she turns around and says to me, you know what? I no longer recognize this country anymore. And that really said something to me in my head when she said,
That was
I
good.
don't recognize this country anymore.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, because I felt that
That
way
was a good
as
one.
well.
Yeah.
Being that I'm an 80s baby and a 90s kid, I definitely don't recognize this country anymore, especially with where we're heading right now.
Yeah.
And just the mindset of people that have said things that they have said before and after the election on social media, I can understand why that they said to me in the post office, I don't recognize this country anymore.
Yeah.
You know, we can make an argument about transgender and sex change and all these other things and stuff like that. But I just think about how far we came 10 years ago, 20 years
That's
ago,
true.
50 years ago, and how it affects people's mental health. Because we didn't really talk mental health heavily until now.
Correct.
You know,
I mean,
another point I want to make before we go back over to media, another point, I bring up Byron Allen at times. And he said it so perfectly in a Bloomberg interview. I wish we could play it, but because of the number of copyright strikes, we can't play it. But he said this one thing in a Bloomberg interview that he did with him. And he said that the most powerful person in the world is not the president of the United States. The most powerful person in the world is the person who controls the media.
Yeah. I've heard that. That's true.
We live in a media-based world where everything is at our fingertips, and whatever or whatever content, whatever person spews out, it manipulates our mindsets.
Our mind. Yeah.
And we wonder why we have all these mental illnesses.
Yeah. Times were more simpler back then, that's for sure.
But now you was about to say something you wanted to expound on that before we.
Oh no, I totally agree with you with what's going on with today. There's deep fake, you know, which that's scary. There's, you know, yeah, there's
There's a lot. I understand. Well, look, Mia, I know you gotta go. I know we're over time or what have you, but I really appreciate you for coming on.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate you, and I understand why you made the decision that you made. I mean, whatever decision you made, you didn't really clearly tell us who you voted for. But I understand where you're coming from.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I think people are just now tired of being sick and tired, and they want to see some change. They want to see some change, but the change comes from us. We got to actively be out there.
Yeah, well, with whoever won, I mean, regardless, I still have to get up and go to work. you know, that doesn't change. You know, I still have to get up and go to work and pay my bills and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, but enjoy life, and thank you for so much for having me on your show. And I appreciate it. And I think anyone that needs help, don't be embarrassed to look for it. I think you should seek it out. Sean has so many counselors and therapies that can help you. So just ask. All you have to do is just ask. So good luck to everyone.
Yeah, or you can look at the information at the bottom of the screen there, and I'm glad that you segue into that. So you can dial the crisis and suicide lifeline number 988.
Good, it's right there.
Yep, it's right there on your screen. I know that there's a lot of people that got that number on speed dial right now. 988 if you or someone you know is facing a mental health crisis. So you can just imagine the phone is blowing up right now at the call centers of people that are on standby. So dial the crisis is suicide lifeline 988 if you or someone you know is facing a mental health crisis. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, you can also contact NAMI, their helpline. Please call 1-800-950 NAMI 6264 Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Central Time. We'll send an email to info@nami.org for information. So yeah, you have all the information right there in front of your face, and we want you to take heed to that. After the election, because hey, look, your health is more important. Is more important. This is just from the opinion of Sean Gardner. Your mental health is more important than who is in office. I'm just gonna leave it right there.
Yeah. God bless.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Mia, for coming
on.
All
right, thank you.
You're welcome. We'll talk offline, okay?
All right. Bye.
All right. See ya. Take
care. You too. Bye-bye.
All right. Well, tonight's show has been very heavy, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I can say. But shout out to those that said they're not going to have sex. And I don't know what to tell y'all. But no, go definitely see some therapy. See a therapist. ASAP. And take a break. Okay. Thank you for everybody that's been checking on me and hitting me up on my blood pressure. So, after doing this show, my blood pressure has slowed down, and I want to keep it that way. I know I'm dealing in a world where people are going to bring you stress and what have you, but that's my therapy in the show. But big shout out to DJ Rolla, Tick, and my other special guest for coming on. And I wanted tonight's show to be kind of like a call-in, random show where we have people call in and come on and just give their 2 cents on everything that occurred in this post-election moment that we have. All right, so once again, Trump, Donald J. Trump, president-elect for another term. 295 versus Kamala Harris, 226. There's a lot of people on the other side were hoping that she would win, but just please, you all, just cool down, stay calm, relax, and get a therapist. Even for those that say that they don't need a therapist, yes, you do. Definitely. Go get help. All right. Thank you all for tuning into the mental space. I'm sorry. Therapy ain't no joke. But you can, of course, email me, thementalspaceshow@gmail.com. You can come on as a guest, or if you have a testimony or story you would like to share with us. Like I said, I'm going to be taking a few days off from doing another mental health show. Therapy ain't no joke. So we'll probably be back on in about a week or 2 from now. We're still transitioning from this program system to another system that we're going to be utilizing moving forward. But you will see past archive clips of there being a joke, and you can go on our YouTube page at the Mental Space Show or at Deep Radio to check out some of our past archive shows of there being a joke. Theme music provided by Brave Melody. Make sure you follow her on social media at Ray Melody. Music courtesy of Ray Melody. Shouts to both. Big shouts to both. And until the next time, we'll see you all at a rebroadcast coming up on the Flow Television Network and on my Facebook page at Sean Garvey and on the Mental Space show on YouTube. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and end the show here. And remember, folks, make sure you keep yourself and others in a great mental space. Until the next time, I will talk to you all later. Peace.